Hello! 1, 2, just in time. Hello, I am streaming out of nowhere at 10 o'clock at night. I was hoping to stream way earlier today, but preparations just took way longer. So we're just having a little bit of a chit chat today, and a little spicy something later on. But but for now, we're just chit chatting, chat the chit chat pat bonk. So, because I have things to say. First off, uh, starting. Actually, no. What before we get onto that topic, I want to talk about today because today was the first time I drove around my area like by myself since getting my license. Right? I mean, I didn't do it before getting my license, but so when I got my license, that basically allowed me to be able to drive to work and back. Right? But the thing about that is that my food line is like 7 minutes away. So I don't get a lot of driving time. I don't get a lot of time on the road just going back and forth from work. So I I told my mom, I was like, can I just drive around, you know? Be on the road for longer than 7 minutes? And bless her heart. Um but she was definitely anxious about it, as she's anxious with any of her kids when we were first all learning how to drive. But she said, "All right, you can do it. Just be careful." So I drove around for probably like an hour, maybe almost an hour, um, around my area. And the first place I went was that I went to, I went to my friend's house because I was like, I don't know where to go. So I put the GPS in for my friend's house and started going that way. I learned very quickly that one, I didn't have a place to put my phone. Uh, so I'm like, I don't know how to look at my phone while I'm driving. Like my brother, because it's my brother's car, he has a little magnet thing. So he has a little thing attached to his car, like it's like stuck to his car, and then there's a magnet, and that attaches to his like phone charger. Well, I don't have that charger, so I can't use that same thing. So I'm sitting here looking around like I don't know where to put my phone. Um, so on the way to my friend's house, I didn't use my phone. I mean, the GPS was going off of my phone, but uh I just kind of had to listen to it, and also the directions popped up on my watch. So if I really needed to, I could flip my watch over, um, wait for the screen to turn on, and then it would tell me what the directions were. I can't, I couldn't do that too often because again, I had to wait for the screen to turn on, and I can't take my eyes off the road for that long. We have a lot of twisting roads. Our roads curve a lot, so I can't just stare at my watch while I wait for it to turn on. Um, and I was also having a problem that I couldn't hear the directions. I had music playing, right? And I thought, it'll be fine. When the directions want to talk, it'll just quiet the music and it will talk over the music. But for some reason, the directions was just really quiet. So like I couldn't hear the music and I couldn't hear the directions. And I was like, what the heck's going on? So I can't hear the directions. I eventually just turned up the volume of the entire car, so my music was louder, but then so was the uh instructions, so I could actually hear what the heck I was trying to do. Luckily, because I was picking my friend's house as the location, I knew relatively how to get there. But let's just say I missed a few turns. First, I was actually trying to put gas in the car, but I missed my turn into the gas station, so I just kept on driving. And it was like, well, I guess I'm just going to my friend's house first instead of going to the gas station. So we do that. I eventually get into I get to my friend's house. Now, my friend had called me in the car uh as as I was um so I knew that my friend wasn't actually at their house because they were calling from their car as they were going to work. So I knew I was going to be able to see my friend, but I figured, you know what? If I drove all the way there and I know that my friend's mom works at home, I'll just go say hi to their mom. So I walked over around the house they where their mom has their own like tree house office. It's pretty cool actually. Um and I chatted with her for like a couple of minutes, not too long because she was working. But I just wanted to come by and say like, "Hey, I drove here all by myself." And she was very happy for me. So after doing that, I decided like, all right, where else do I want to go? Um, Besides the gas station to get gas. And I decided that I wanted to go. So I have a childhood friend, and her mom was basically my godmother, right? And I haven't seen her in years. And for the past few months, I found out that she has a shop right next to the library that me and my friend. I'm trying not to use names, and so but you're gonna get confused about which friend I'm talking about. Uh, Friend one that I drove to their house. We go to the library, and I found out that friend two's mom has a store that's like right next to the library. And I was like, "Well, that's cool." So I've been trying to like stop by the store and catch her to like just catch up and stuff. And I'm like and every time I show up to um she's not there. Godmother's not there. And I'm like, "No, I just want to see you. Why are you never here?" So, I drive all the way over there. Um I would say like it's probably a 30-minute drive towards where her shop is. I get there. The website said that it was supposed to be open. The schedule on the door said that it was supposed to be open, but for some reason it was closed. So no one was there that time. But it's fine because, the important part was that I managed to drive all the way over there. Oh, and uh I did get to the gas station before then, though it was the first time that I was getting gas all by myself, and I didn't know that you were supposed to put your zip code into the pump. Uh, and so I thought it was asking for my PIN number, which I thought was weird because I wasn't using debit, but I was just like, I don't know what's going on. So there was a person right across because you know how like gas stations has a pump on both sides. Um, Someone had come in on the other side of me to get their gas, and I just kind of walked around and was just like, "Can you please help me get gas? This is the first time I'm doing it." And she was really nice. She was just like, "Oh yeah, my son's just about to learn how to drive too. I get it." And so she came over and showed me how to do it. And I was like, "Thank you." So I successfully got gas. Woo! And then I drove all the way over there to the store to find out that the store was closed. And then at that point, I had been driving for like 45 minutes, I think. Again, I wasn't keeping track of time, but I had been driving around for a little bit. So the last thing that I did was that the reason why I was actually driving out around anyway was because I was grabbing food for my mom so she could make herself a salad. So the last stop was to head back to my workplace and buy groceries and then go home. So that's what I did. I think I did decently well. I didn't crash. I didn't hit anything. So those are big pluses. That is not to say that I was a perfect driver. I took turns probably a lot too quickly or sharply than I should have. Uh, and in the attempts of trying to figure out where to set my phone so I could look at it for directions, I placed it in the wrong spot, and when I did one of my turns, my phone fell onto the floor and right where my feet was, and I was trying really hard to not step on my phone. So I'm so I had a very awkward foot placement against the pedal for a bit until I finally hit a red light and was able to pick my phone off the ground. And at that point, I just sat in my lap and kind of squeezed it between my legs to hold it still. It wasn't even that I needed the directions themselves, but the map app told me what the speed limits was in the areas. So I found that to be more helpful than anything else because I didn't always know what the speed limit was, and we have a lot of parts where it changes from 45 and 55, and so and I can never tell when exactly that happens, even though I know there are stop limit signs around. So that was the main reason why I was using GPS. But yeah, so I kind of just sat my phone in between my legs and hold it there, and was like just praying that I didn't, I don't know, slip or something. I was wearing jeans, so you know. Um, there was, I think, the most scary part about that driving experience was when I needed to turn left and I was like, I need to turn left. Okay. And I looked, right? And it was like, no, it was in my blind spot. So I went to go move over, realized I had to move over to another lane. So I just kept turning left. And this poor old man that was behind me, who was in the lane, I swear I probably cut him off. And if he had not braked as well as he did, he probably would have had ran into me. And I felt so bad. I was like, oh god, that was not the right choice. Obviously, there was no accident, but I think that was the closest I ever got to an accident during that trip, was that I just wasn't really thinking about it and just kept turning left into across the lanes, and I realized I was like, I probably almost got that guy to run into me, and I would have felt really bad because by law, if I get tailbone, it's his fault. Um, but in this situation, I really feel like it would have been my fault for kind of like cutting like that, and I would feel really bad. But at the same time, I was like, I wouldn't know if I got into an accident. I don't know what I would do. Probably panic. Um, so I'm very happy that that didn't happen. uh, but I think that was a wonderful learning experience, though. I do feel myself being more confident in driving after seeing like all of these mishaps, like missing my turn and doing that cutoff, and like I missed a few other turns, and just like being able to like be like, okay, and just keep on going, um, and figure it out. So I think I'm a little proud of myself for handling those mistakes really well and not panicking on the road and doing something that would have made the situation worse. Um, so I want to say that that was still a huge success, and I'm in that stage of new drivers where they want to drive all the time. So I get home and my mom realized later that it was like they were like she was like, Nunya, this is grated Parmesan. I need shredded Parmesan. And I was like, you wrote graded on the food list. And she was like, damn it, I did. So I had to go back out to go get the correct Parmesan for the salad. Because apparently you don't use grated Parmesan for salad. So, so my mom was like, I will say you are definitely the most enthusiastic about going on errands. And I was like, yeah, it's because I'm a new driver. I'm in my I want to drive everywhere phase. And she was like, "Oh yeah, you all did that. Fair enough." So that was my day, right? That's what I did most of the day. I had like woken up, took a shower, drove around, and then worked on the surprise that we'll get to in a minute. Um, about I don't know. I feel like I'm hyping it up, and it's probably not going to be that cool, but I think it'll be fun. I think it'd be fun, and so that's what we're doing. All right. So the title is that Nunya talks about her new hyperfixation for X amount of time. So that means I do have something I want to talk about. Uh, Last stream I said that I was going to stream on Thursday, like last Thursday, and play more Pokemon, right? Well, I what what happened Thursday? Did it start on Wednesday? When did it start? I think it started on Wednesday. Is what I want to say. Wednesday night, um, Space was like chatting in the Discord and whatnot, and we were joking about. I think Space was making cookies, and we were joking around about how like, oh, what if Space burns her house down, and I then went looking for a specific gift, right? I was just looking for like a gif or a picture of Patton setting the house on fire. Like there's a skit, Vine, short video, whatever it is, of like Patton talking about how he burnt the house down. Like he was trying to make a casserole or something, and then the camera cuts and he turns and he's just like, I've burnt the whole house to the ground. um, that's what I was looking for the joke, for the bit. I wanted to go get that. So I went and scattered the internet trying to find this. Uh Long story short, I never end up finding it. I'm like, I swear this exists. I know for a fact that this exists and I can't find it. I tried to search like Patton house fire or like Patton sets the house on fire or Thomas Sanders house fire I or dad vines or like I tried to look for it for so long. I couldn't find it. And I'm like, I know this exists, but I could not find it. No matter how hard I was trying. And so eventually, in my attempts to try to find um this picture that absolutely exists somewhere for the bit of Space burning his house down, um I ran into some fan art of like one of the Sandra sides were D&D characters. Um which brought me to a Tumblr account, which we're gonna switch over to that right now. So this is Whispers of This is whispers of I know how to pronounce this. It's Rotalde. Um, it's actually yeah, it's pronounced Rotalde. And this person took the Sanderside's characters and a few of other Thomas's characters from other projects and such, turned them into D&D characters, and has this blog of none other are they making a story with these characters, which is fantastic, by the way, and very intriguing. But the the audience also plays a part of it, because none other is this like a little comic series. It's an ask blog, so people can go in and put in and like ask the characters for information, and the characters will respond to them. Like, it's a canon thing. They're called the whispers that come from the far land, and multiple people can hear them to various degrees. Um, and such. So like it's just a common thing for that characters people hear voices in their heads asking them questions or trying to get them to do things and whatnot. And so um the audience gets to actually help progress the plot and such. So like we had askers that like warned Virgil to not trust Logan, or tried to tell Patton to be like wary of Virgil, or just like trying to like constantly scrapping out to try to get more lore, and like, hey Roman, what's your backstory, or like, hey Logan, who do you have a crush on, and it's a whole thing, right? And it's so interesting, and I'm trying really really hard to not spoil the plot. I want to try very hard to not spoil the plot. And I will say this is a long ass thing to get caught up on, because none other where you there are like considered canon, um so like this is what is like considered a canon thing, right? So this is the first, this is the this is the start of it. And uh and then you get a little description at the bottom, and then the game has started, and there's a rules that tells you how to play it and such. Uh, and then you go to the next. And so here we have like an example of like a asker being like, "Hey, how you doing? What's going on?" And then the characters respond. And then it continues like that. But and that's how I first read it. I read it by just going through these cuz I thought that's all I needed to do, right? I just thought I needed to go through these and I would be all handy dandy. Here's Roman and Logan having a conversation. Um the story starts that uh Logan, Logan, Lo- Roman, Logan, and Patton have been captured by pirates, and Virgil is also there for reasons. Um, so so there's that. Here, let me is it map of the realm? Okay. Let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can find what they. Uh. Okay. I don't think that's it. There's a better way to find it. Uh. So that's the rules, that's the comic, that's the recap. Chronological scrolling is probably best. Yeah. So, so yeah, I think these work well enough. So this one's Virgil. So this is Virgil. That's a cool picture of Virgil. And this is what Roman looks like in all his glory. Here's Patton. Now, also here's also the other thing. They're not all human. In fact, I don't actually think any of them are human. Going back up to Virgil real quick. Virgil is a drow in this universe. Roman is an Asimar, which is basically he's angel born. Patton is a halfling slash a hobbit. They're the same thing. D&D couldn't use hobbit because it was copyrighted by Lord of the Rings, so they named them halfling. So halfling and hobbits are basically the same thing. Short little people. Um so that's Patton. Logan over here is a high is a high elf. Oh yeah, he is a high elf. For some reason, I was thinking that he was a half elf. Oh nope, yeah, that says half elf. I was correct. I had a little oopsie and thought it said high. Okay, so that yeah. What? Oh my goodness, it's been a day. So Logan over here is a half elf. He's my favorite character because of course he is. He's my little brainiac, and I love him so much. He is such a doofus. He's so smart and so dumb at the same time. It's really funny. And what makes him dumb is not his intelligence. It's just un his like unquenched curiosity in goddamn everything. Um this man makes some really stupid choices in the name of gaining more knowledge, which is what any type of Logan character should do. That is like the pinnacle of a Logan type character is smart dude makes dumb decisions to learn more shit. Like without getting into spoilers, he does something that's really ridiculous. And when it happened, I was like, "Logan, what the fuck are you doing?" Like everyone was just screaming at him like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I love him so much. Such a man. Such a tall, lanky ass man. This man right here is the tallest out of all of him. He's 6'7". He is the tallest out of the group. This man is tall. He's got scrawny ass body, but God, he's got some height. Am I sipping over this Logan? Absolutely. Love this man. Anyway, oh, I didn't talk about even their classes yet. Hold on, let me talk about their classes. So, Virgil Virgil's a little complicated. He's a little complicated for plot reasons, but all you need to understand is that he's a sorcerer. Um that's all you need to know. Uh and Roman here is a paladin, which I thought was an interesting choice. I'm not against it. Like it works really well in the story for him to be a paladin. And I think what's really cool about Roman's paladinship is that his oath is to himself, which means that his powers don't work when he's insecure, which is such a Roman thing. It's such a Roman thing for him to have a giant ego and that ego being his power source. I'm like, you know what? I can see it. So that's really sweet. Um Paladin, blah, not Paladin. Patton here is a monk, which I also thought was a little weird because I never imagined Patton to be a monk. Um, Usually when I think about Patton in a D&D format, I usually put him as the paladin because of his sense of morality. I thought paladin and the oaths would be a good fit for him, but I guess you wouldn't want to have two paladins. And the way that this person explains why Patton is a paladin, not a paladin, blah, 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 blah. Explains why Patton is a monk makes a lot more sense to me. It's about kind of like controlling your emotions and a deep inner peace. And also, Patton refuses to use weapons. He fights with his bare fists and nothing else. And I'm like, you know what? Yep, that's a Patton, all right. um, also, um, it's a non-secret that Patton is also a trans male. So Patton in this universe is trans, if that interests anyone. Uh, so far there has not been any like transophobia going on. And I actually even question if Roman knows that Patton is trans. There is a part in the story where it is alluded to that Patton is on his period. But they just call it like he's ill or sick. Like they which I don't personally understand why. And which is what got me to thinking about if like Roman doesn't know because I don't understand why they're hiding the fact that he's on his period. I don't know if it's just if because like I don't know. It I haven't figured that out. I know I know that Virgil finds out. Virgil finds out and from lines of dialogue I know that Logan knows. I just don't know if Roman knows. I don't think Roman would have a problem with it either way. I just don't know if he knows. um and also Patton is uh is not transitioned body wise because apparently according to Patton he does not want to change his body. So like that's like all right, cool for you, buddy. Um so that is just what Patton looks like. He hasn't done any like top or bottom surgery canonically. Who's the Hobbit? Hey Lone, this is Patton. I don't know if he has a last name. This is oh he does have a last name. I just don't remember what it is. Um we're talking about my new hyperfixation. This person, this blog, the quick summary about what we're talking about is that this blog was spurs of Rotalde. Took the Sanderside's characters and a few other of Thomas's characters, turned them into D&D characters, and has this Ask blog where people can ask questions of the characters and help progress the plot and such. So it's like it's almost kind of like a game in some senses because you can vote on what happens and such. And the Arthur Mango also revealed that and I think her pronouns are she her. Um she also reveals that she does actually roll dice. So and the dice rolls have changed outcomes of the story. So it's really fun. It's really fun to experience. So I was just kind of going over the characters and what they are like and also trying very hard to avoid spoilers in case anyone wants to read it themselves. So I went over we went over Virgil, the drow sorcerer, Roman, the paladin Asimar, and we were just talking about Patton, the halfling monk. Also slash hobbit because they're the same thing. Wizards of the Coast just couldn't get the copyrights to Hobbit. And then and now we're back to Logan, who I spent 5 minutes simping over. Um, this one was also very interesting to me. He is a bard, which was very weird to me at first because when I imagine Logan as a D&D character, I imagined him as like a wizard or an artificer. You know, the intelligent based classes. But I think this one also kind of fits for Logan. Being a bard of lore, does mean that he is still looking to understand the world around him, and that's still a very big part of his character and such. And he kind of just explains that he's like, I didn't choose to be a bard. The bard chose me. Um, there's a whole thing where Logan explains how magic works and how like magic fits into the person. And so being a bard was not Logan's first choice, but bardhood chose him. So he kind of had to roll with it. Um it is said that apparently he has a lovely singing voice, but he also detests singing. So the man barely ever sings, but he knows how to play a lot of instruments. Um so there is that. He's kind of the weak support he's kind of the supporter class. He tends to buff other people and kind of stay out of the way. But yeah, I love him so much. you you intelligent stupid boy. Um so those are our four main characters, right? And in case you're curious, Janice and Remus are also in this story. Their pictures are just farther down because we haven't been introduced to them yet. Um, so I'm just scrolling past pretty quickly. This is a example of them rolling. Um, Mango says that when a role like infects like interacts with the story, like changes story directions, that she has a manifestation of what those roles are. Besides that, um them like actively rolling is not a like canonical thing. It's just what they do. So this is kind of like a little fourth wall break of what's happening. So it was basically the big one was Patton got a natural 1 on uh perceiving Virgil's stealth, and that changed the story. But so here's also the thing. So I was talking about how like I had just read these, right? Because then there's a link to the next one, and then you just so I just kept going to the next one. I found out like I don't know, like maybe halfway through that I was like, this is really weird because sometimes the askers are asking or reacting to things before I know what is actually happening. Like, um, small spoiler, I guess, is that Patton and Logan have a crush on each other. And I didn't realize that they had a crush on each other until the askers revealed it to them to basically tell them to go kiss. And like that's when they finally reveal their feelings to each other because an asker said it to them. Um and but it implied that the askers already knew, but nothing in what I had read in the comic pages beforehand alluded to Logan and Patton having feelings for each other. So I was really confused about what was going on. Apparently, there is more questions being answered between the comic pages. So for example, right? Let's look at the first one. So this is the first comic page. This is where it starts, right? Virgil gets on this boat and the other characters are locked in the prison break. Um, and then there's another post. Someone asked Virgil, like, what is he doing or whatever. Um, Someone asked about who the spider was. Okay, this is not a perfect example. Hold on. We'll get there eventually. Oh, wait. I think I'm just in the wrong section. Hold on. I need to go to chronological scroll link, I think. No, then this is the right one. Give me a moment. I've been on this blog for like 3 days. I've lost track of how to do things. Let me try going to the next page. Okay, I swear. Okay, I don't think this is the correct one. The fur. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's the master post. Is that it? I Guys, just bear with me, please. I am trying. I've gotten myself all jumbled up. If you want to start from the beginning, that's for the first comic. This is a chronological scrolling. I think it has to be this one. Let me get past all this. There's that. There's the rules. There's Charlotte. They're in their cells. That was a lot on farther in, I think. Yeah, so this is the beginning. So people are just kind of figuring out what's going on here. What's the deal? I I promise. Just bear with me here. I swear I'm going crazy. But uh I mean Robert shut up. I'm back. I'm back, right? Everything's good? I hate everything. Everything's a nightmare. Everything is a nightmare. Uh, are you good? Someone let me know if we're good. Also, I finally found what I was freaking looking for. Hold on, let me check Twitch real quick. Your ad's about to start? Oh, okay. Okay, we're good. All right. So, this is what I was talking about. After after like 3 freaking pages, um people would ask the characters like a question. Like in this example, they asked someone asked what their favorite musicals were, and then the answer would be answered like this in just text format. And that is where that was what my big mistake was. My mistake was only watching for the comic strips, right? That was my big mistake. Um because I didn't realize how much more insight and information that we were getting about the characters in the world from these text posts, right? So I was kind of going into everything half blind. Um, like sometimes they're just asking really dumb questions, like what's everyone's favorite foods? I mean, I guess that's not a dumb question, but like just a not important question, like what's your favorite food, and like they'll get their answer. Um, and then other times they'll ask the characters like, "Hey Virgil, will you like Go talk to those two guys that you've been avoiding, and Virgil would be like, no, fuck off. I don't want to talk to them. Um, there, it's a whole thing, right? You have to start from the absolute beginning, and you gotta read through all of it. You can't, don't do what I did and just read only these pages, because you're going to miss a lot of story. Because what you're gonna happen is you're gonna be just reading along, and then eventually an asker's gonna be like, "Hey, Patton and Logan, kiss," and then they reveal their feelings, and I was like, I didn't know that they liked each other. Apparently, someone had asked if Logan had a crush on anyone, and it was revealed that, oh, uh it's like asked if Logan and Patton had a crush on anyone, and it was revealed that it's no secret that Logan has a crush on Patton, but uh is too shy to express his feelings, and doesn't know that Patton likes Logan, and Patton knows that Logan likes him, but wants Logan to make the first move, so he hasn't done anything. that got that got answered way before that got. So just do yourself a favor. If you're going to jump into this rabbit hole, you gotta start from the fucking beginning. And you gotta read all of it. I am now going through it again. Going through all of these text pages, and I have understand the story way better now than I did the first time. Not to say that it was completely unable to be recognizable, but reading all of it um is just so much better for the entire experience. It just is. So that's what happened. That's what happened Wednesday, right? And then it turned into and so I was reading through these comics. um, I was. I'll just go through it as it is and let my mind sort it out. Don't want to. I promise you, it's not going to make sense. They're gonna talk about things that you don't know about. You're going to be out of the loop. And they'll just talk like you already know about it because canonically they've already talked about it. Like, I'm telling you, you're just going to be really confused. I mean, I guess you can sort it out later. Like you'll figure it out and just kind of roll with the punches. But everything makes a lot more sense if you read all of it. Especially when it comes to Janice and Remus, because they don't show up physically in the comic until like 100 pages later, but they're sitting here in the chat in these like little tech posts, and you can talk to them and figure out what they're doing and what their goals are. I mean, like, read it however you want. I'm just telling you, I already did that. I'm telling you the better way. None of you have been out of the loop about the 5 years. I'm just getting back into it 3 months ago. I don't even know what that means, but okay. I don't even know what that means. But alright. So I was reading that until like 4 in the morning. And then I went to bed because I was tired and my eyes didn't work anymore. Then I woke up on Thursday and it was like, I gotta keep reading. I hadn't finished it yet. So I went back and I kept reading it all of Thursday. I did nothing but sat in a chair and scrolled through a Tumblr blog for 12 hours. I didn't sleep, drink, or use the bathroom. Okay, that is a lie. I used the bathroom a couple of times. But I didn't sleep or drink. And I think eventually, at that night, I went on the Discord to say about how, like, my eyes stopped working. And you guys begged me to eat food. Until I ate a sandwich. Um, and I did finally catch up. This is what happens when I reintroduce Nunya to Tumblr. Oh, Space, you missed the whole beginning. I mean, this is still your fault, but not for the reason that you think. You don't know how I got down to this. Oh man, it's so hard. I've already, I have to, you came in, and I have an impulse to re explain everything, but I don't think I should. What did you do? One summary. Oh, okay, one summary? Alright, alright. Uh, okay. Alright. I got alright, putting on my big girl hat. Big girl, big mm, uh, uh. Okay. Oh, my stomach! I've calmed down. I'm in a very unstable state of mind. No one make me laugh again. Okay. No one do anything funny. There shall be no funny business for the next 5 minutes. What you just experienced was a laughing fit, where sometimes I start laughing and then I can't stop laughing. And then I laugh for minutes until I can't breathe anymore. Because apparently, I find the laughing fit itself. I find the laughing fit to be so funny that I just keep laughing. So the fit doesn't end until I can't breathe anymore. Honestly, I thought that I would have one of those way earlier in my career. But there you go. So I don't know how much of that you were actually able to hear. I'm gonna have to go through the VOD later to see how much of that was actually audible. Because oh boy was I just going. Um what were we talking about? Quite a bit to be honest. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh my god. Oh god, Luna. Luna, how long have you been here? Luna, you just missed me laughing for probably 3 minutes straight over goddamn nothing. For the last 2 minutes, okay, you might have experienced some of it then. Oh my gosh, it it was such a dumb thing to laugh out of. I started laughing because my words started to fail, and I thought that was funny because it is. And then I just couldn't stop. It's like a curse. Like, you know that one spell uh what's it called? It's like something laughter. And it's just a spell that makes you do nothing but laugh uncontrollably. It's like someone cast that spell on me. Thinking we're gonna do bullet points. Oh, right. I was okay. So we're talking about my new hyperfixation. One summary. How long is the summary? I do have to go all the way back though. Um, bullet points. Okay. All right. This is a Tumblr blog, blah. This is a Tumblr blog. This is a Tumblr blog. This is a Tumblr blog called Whispers of Rotaude. And I'm actually saying that correctly. You're on some sort of Sandra Sides D&D thing. Yes. First bullet point. A Sandra Sides D&D thing. But none other is it a Sandra Sides D&D thing. It's a Sandra Sides D&D Ask blog thing. So you can actually go in and ask the characters questions and they will canonically answer you. It's a whole thing, but this is a summary, so I'm not going to get into it. Our players are Virgil, the sorcerer drow, Roman, the paladin Asimar, Patton, our halfling monk, and Logan, our half elf half lord, half elf bard, and they're going on their own little adventure to do things and stuff. And we're part of the ride as a collective called the Whispers that can ask them things and change the story, um, depending on what we tell them and how they answer and things like that. Half Lord Bard. I think we've established that my brain is not working tonight. Processor is slow today. So, those are your characters. Janice and Remus are also in this. You learn about them later. Since they're not at the beginning, and because I'm trying to avoid spoilers, I won't go too much into them. This is my new hyperfixation. I started this on Wednesday. Stayed up until 4 in the morning, went to bed, woke up, spent another entire day reading it, and I was just explaining about how um, there was that the first time I read it was just going through um, the comic pages and then hitting the next button and going on to the next spot. And then I realized that the askers were asking questions about topics or seemed knowledgeable about topics that I wasn't knowledgeable about. And then that's when I learned that none other were there these amazing comic pages, but there was also just text posts of the characters answering questions, and so you get a lot more lore and character insight by reading the entire blog and not just the comic pages, and that's what I was getting into when you all showed up. um, So I think we all have been collectively caught up to what we were talking about. You can watch the VOD later because I also talked about my first time driving by myself for a long distance, which I will not get back into. So you guys only missed like an hour of me talking, so you could catch up on that later. And so I got it. So this is my new hyperfixation. I'm still reading it. For one thing, the story itself is not completed, right? Um, so I'm in the middle of the story, and my goodness, they haven't even gotten to their next location yet. Um, the art's amazing, the characters are amazing. I simped over Logan for 3 minutes, um, and because of course I did. And this also, none other did this take my entire focus of like literally everything. It also inspired me because sorry, clearing my throat. Because I um I had also dabbled in the idea of making Decentricide's D&D characters, mostly through the origin stories. Do we get to play more Origins D&D? You're getting ahead of me. Stop it. Um so a long time ago, a long time ago, I've been waiting a year. It's not what you think. I think you're going to be really disappointed. um I think you're going to be disappointed in this, but so long, long ago in a galaxy far, far away, I started transferring Minecraft into D&D. So like I started making rules and such. So I took our characters, right? Because we had this entire world in the origins. So I wrote up all of these new races for the characters, and I made an entire potion system, and I wrote up monster blocks of the Minecraft creatures, and I transferred the armor system into Minecraft. I did a bunch of things to be able to like it's a whole thing. It's a whole freaking document. Um it was a little project. It was a little passion project that I had for a little bit. Um and I even had to make an entire cleric subclass for freaking Caleb. And we did play one session of it. Um, so I got inspired again to go back and look at it, and I thought it would be really fun. So one of the reasons why I we didn't continue playing it, besides, oh gosh dang it, I'm in the red again. Nope, we're good. We're getting all right. We're in green again. I swear the internet is wants to screw me over. We didn't even get close to Caleb. Yeah, we were not even close to getting to Caleb. What ended up happening was that the idea was that we were gonna play through the series again, or like we were gonna go through the series, like series events, but we were gonna do it in D&D. So things in the D&D world acted a little bit differently because there was a lot more magic and stuff. But I tried to keep things um close to what we had in the lore of our story. um and we ended up never playing it again, mostly because I needed to make dungeon maps, and making dungeon maps was a pain in the butt, so I didn't do it. And then I also realized that it was probably a little silly to go through the entire thing. Um, but in D&D, I thought it was a little too silly. Nowadays, we just roll dice anyway, so it's we add a little bit of like randomness. Um, whenever we want to, but it's not as essential as like an actual D&D campaign. Uh, but I was inspired to go looking back at it again, and I fixed up a couple of the characters, especially Logan. God, I rewrote Logan 3 times. The first time I created Logan, he was a little bit too much of a powerhouse. Um, and I realized that that wasn't exactly fair. So I dialed Logan back, and I was trying to figure out the best way of how do I wanted to make Logan. And yeah, he was a little overpowered. And I was like, I gave Logan a little bit too much, and that's not exactly fair to the other characters. So I pulled Logan back. Um, because originally he was a fighter wizard combination. Um, and I was like, that that's not gonna work. That's a little mean. So at first, I was trying to be like, okay, we'll make him a wizard because that's Logan's thing, right? And I was like, but Logan does too much combat that a wizard doesn't provide for. So I've switched him over to being a arcane archer fighter. So he's now the fighter class with his subclass being arcane archer, because Logan's main weapon choice is a longbow. And being an arcane archer allows me to still have a little bit of a magical sense to Logan um, for his fighting, but it's definitely a lot less than what I kind of wanted him to have, but probably makes still more sense in the context of Logan. Logan isn't a person who specifically has magical abilities. Um, so it makes sense that he wouldn't himself really have a lot of magic. Um, Patson got reworked a little bit, and I looked at Virgil and realized that Virgil didn't need to change very much. So, and I thought what might be fun is if we did a little bit of a simulation. The big the big thing in story 1 was that the characters went to go fight the Ender Dragon. And I thought what would it be like if the characters got to fight the Ender Dragon? Cuz I made the whole stat block for it even before the D&D Minecraft crossover thing where they made their own Ender Dragon. That Ender Dragon's a little bit too strong for what my characters are at right now, so I made a hopefully a weaker version of that dragon. Um and whoop, we're gonna do a little combat scenario, because I just think it might have been fun. I thought it might be fun to do. So the thing about the Ender Dragon is that he has all of these end crystals that are, I'm gonna say, 30 feet up in the air on these like pillars, and each one of them um heals the dragon on its turn, and so you have to get rid of them before you can really fight the dragon. Uh, so, and we're working with the idea that the characters here already know all that nonsense. So let me. Well, I don't need Janice. Janice is not in this fight. I need Patton, and I need Logan. Oh, apparently I already had Logan up. And I need Virgil. Those were the ones that did this fight. No one else was there to do this fight with them. Oh, and I also need the Ender Dragon. I'm gonna need that block as well. Boop. And we're gonna say that the dragon is currently 60 feet in the air. I'm gonna have to keep track of distance like that. So now what we're gonna do is that it's initiative time, baby. As soon as I figure out where that dice is. Turn order. There it is. Roll20 updated their site, and so it's a little new to me. Okay. It's not on the main Origins game? Technically it is. You're just not there. You're stuck over here. You're a little stuck over here, Space. Uh, do do you want to come in and play as Virgil? Do you want to come in and play as Virgil? You can come in and play as Virgil if you want. I think you're coming in to play as Virgil here. Here, you can that actually helps me a little bit. It gives me one less person to worry about. I can. Virgil is probably going to be your character that you have the least to worry about. Everything that you need to know about how to play Virgil should be on his sheet. And of course you can ask me questions if you don't know what the frick you're doing, as per usual. It's okay. We'll we'll get through it together. We're all in this together. One da 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 da. Yeah. I need I need Patson. Patson, get over here. Da 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 da. Ba da 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 ba da ba ba da ba ba da. Hey, hey, what's your sweet lady say? Ma, and my heart keep bumping. I think I just switched between like three different. Okay, how the heck? I'm gonna get ready for bed. You have a great night. You have a good sleep, Luna. Love you. Not gonna lie, I don't know why. I didn't see you roll, so I don't think that roll should count. Eh. It's gonna be so weird. I don't have a lot of space. Okay, so Logan got a 16 and the dragon. Ooh, 21. Okay. So space. I'm trying to think. How do you do initiative? I figured. All right. So first, I want you to click on your token. Just have it like highlighted and stuff. Just click on your token, and then Virtual has a +5. I am aware. It's because he's alert, so he gets a +5 bonus. So when after you click on your token, you go to your character sheet, and if you hover over the word initiative, it glows red, and if you click it, it'll roll initiative for you. What are we doing in here? Oh god, Decaden, you missed the entire... You've missed all of the setup. The super short version is that we're running a combat against the Ender Dragon. We're playing D&D, that's what we're doing. Okay. Okay, space. Space. Oh, wait, do you even have your... Okay, space, if you go over here, you should have access to Virgil's character sheet. You click on it, and it will pop up. I could just roll it for you, but I'm trying to let you be able to roll for your character. I can't see your screen. What do you mean you can't see my screen? Where's initiative? Okay. It's on... You know where it is. You said he had a +5. Just hover over the word initiative. Hold on. Here. Here. You open Virgil's sheet. Hey, you did it. The sheet is small. Make it bigger. Actually, I don't know if you can make it bigger. There we go. Also, dang, you got a re-rolled. My wife made me gay. You're in a gay panic? Oh no. Okay. So, congratulations. Congratulations, Space. You're at the top of the... You're at the top of the initiative. What do you mean D&D hates you? Look, you rolled fantastically. Alright. So, Space, it is your turn. You can move up to your speed, which I don't have your sheet open anymore, so let me figure out what that is. I think you just have a speed of 30. I think everyone has a speed of 30. Ooh. Yeah. You have a speed of 30. You are aware that you have to get rid of these end crystals before really attacking the dragon. You want to climb the pillar. Alright, so you need to move to a pillar, right? That pillar is about 15 feet away from you, and then you can climb another 15 feet. So, okay. I'm gonna mark that you are 15 feet up in the air. You have to, the pillars are, we're gonna say that they're 30 feet tall. So you need another 15 feet to get up to the top of the tower. You can use your action to dash to get to the top of the tower. But that does use your action, and thus you would still not be able to do anything, but you'll be at the top of the tower. Up to you. Because that was just your movement. I'm also curious if I should, like, if we should just get in a call, if that would make things faster. You want to go up? Okay. Alright, you dashed, you're now 30 feet up in the air. You cannot touch the, you can't touch it yet. because that acquires an action and you just use your action to dash. So that is your turn. Next up, we have the Ender Dragon, who is currently 60 feet up in the air flying around. And I have to decide on what I want this dragon to do. Also, I didn't add any Endermen because I did not want to deal with that. So there are no Endermen. um okay. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. That sounds like fun. Wait, what's your speed? You can fly 60 feet. What's your range is 15 feet. Okay. So, okay. The dragon flies over this way and is going kill Logan. We're gonna see how well this goes. This is we're play testing. We're gonna do a fire breath. Did I my attack? Did I freaking rolled a goddamn 5? Oh wait. I see. Hold on. It's not an attack roll. It's a dex save. You you're celebrating too quickly. I messed up. This attack is a dex save. Yeah, the dragon excels a fire of a 15-foot cove, which does mean that the dragon had to lower himself to 15 feet to be able to attack. So he's only 15 feet in the air. And Patton, yeah, 15-foot cove. Can I make a can I make a cone? Uh oh god, this it's a cone degree. 15? Yeah. So Patton and Logan have to make dex saves. Oh, so that was Logan. And that's 14. That might save. What's the DC? 13. Okay. All right, let's see. So, The dragon rolled a 19. Wow, I think. Oh, this is. Oh god. We're okay. No, we're good. We're good. If Logan was a wizard, I think he would be dead. But okay, I have. I need a calculator. Ow. So I'm on a calculator. So Logan failed the dex saving throw, so he had to take 19 points of damage. Patton made his saving throw, so he takes half damage. So he takes 9 damage. And how much is Patton's health? 21 is 12. So neither one of them look too great. So to kind of paint this picture, the dragon flies overhead. It opens its mouth as purple flame spouts out over Logan and Patton. Logan fumbles over his own feet because I'm pretty sure I don't think Logan can do anything. Oh wait, wait. When you fail a dex saving throw, you can use your reaction to roll a d4 and add that to the save. Uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope. That will not help in this situation because he can't roll high enough to make the DC. So, nope. It does not. Logan fumbled over his own feet and uh gets burnt by the flames. His fur has been hinged. Patton was a little bit more lucky being able to get out of the blast zone and only gets scraped a little bit by gets a little brushed against the flames, taking less damage. So and then Virgil blows a raspberry at the dragon. It is now Logan's turn, which Logan immediately goes, "Ow!" Let's see what I can do though. Leave my rabbit and be alone. There we go. He shakes his fist at the dragon. Okay. Alright. Goodbye, Decaden. I know, it's a pretty late stream. So, now, Logan is going to use his bonus action to do Second Wind, which is a fighter skill that allows him to regain HP. So I need to roll a d10. Ow. Logan Logan gathers his wits and heals and heals for 5. So 11. He's at 11 now, which fair enough. So Logan is now I think Logan could probably shoot a end crystal. Once I pick the freaking right sheet. What's the range on this bad boy? Yeah. Yeah, he can longbow it. All right. Logan pulls back his bow and fires an arrow. It hits one of the end crystals, and because these things are so freaking fragile, it immediately blows up. So that was his action. His bonus action, he can still move, which I think he's gonna try to do. Logan gets about that far. Let me check his ability again. Uh, oh, he has a speed of 40. Yeah, he has a speed of 40. So he gets a little bit closer, actually. There we go. He gets about that far, and that is Logan's turn. Patton's turn. What the heck can Patton do? Well, I mean, he can fly, so he can actually get closer. Uh, I'm gonna just check his spells. Um, we'll save that. That's a reaction. Okay. All right. So Patton, how fast is your flying speed, Patton? I think it's just 30. Yeah, I think it's just 30. Okay. Patton is going to. Yeah, that works. Patton flies over here, and he's gonna take a shot at his own crystal. Nope. There we go. Because he has a crossbow. Yeah. So this crystal is bye bye. Virgil, it is now your turn, and you are on top of a crystal. What do you do? I assume that you punch it. I just realized I don't have a water bucket. Yeah, that would suck. So, are you gonna punch it? If you do, um, all right, you punched it. It explodes. Yay! Oh wait, it exploded, and you're right next to it. Um, give me, give me a dex saving throw. If you look at your character sheet under the block that says saving throws, you can just click the one that says Dex. Yeah! Ooh. Uh, that. Alright, cool. You take. You take 7 points of force damage. Give me a strength saving throw. He wants a roasted spider. Okay. You you punch the crystal. It explodes with a force of energy. Um, but you manage to stick onto the pillar to keep yourself from falling off of it. That was your action. You can still uh make sure you keep track of your HP. Okay. Yep, there we go. You can still move. You can it's a 30 foot tall pillar, so you could just walk your way down the pillar now. But you can't exactly move from that spot. You're just now on the ground. We now have the Ender Dragon. Yep. All right. So you are now on the ground. Congratulations. It's now the Ender Dragon's turn. Woo! Who's he gonna murder next? Well, it depends. He did not regain his dragon breath. So, uh, can I do like a roll D3? Is that a command that I can do? I don't think so. I don't even think that went through. Uh, what's the advanced one? Okay. We're gonna roll a D4. 1. Alright. The dragon swoops down towards Patton. It is now on the ground. And is going to try to bite him. Which says bite attack should work properly. Attack 14. Rolling a d20 plus 4. Okay, yeah, so I rolled a 10 plus 4. Okay, 14. Oh man, it just hits Patton's armor class, doesn't it? Did I check Patton's armor? What is he wearing? He's wearing leather armor. Okay, I'm going to assume that my calculations is okay. Okay, so he did actually hit Patton. Dang. Does this a bite still? Oh wow, yeah, apparently it does. So that's 10 damage. Ow, Patton. The dragon swoops down towards towards Patton, opening its mouth and crunching onto Patton's I don't know, like his stomach or something. Like Patton is halfway inside this dragon's mouth. Uh it's now I mean, he also let go of him. Patson's not grappled, but the dragon kind of took a bite out of Patson. Actually, wait, no. Uh, I can save this. Patton uses shield. As a reaction, when you are hit with an attack, uh, a invisible barrier of magic surrounds you, increasing your AC by 5 until your next turn, which means that the dragon's mouth couldn't penetrate the magical force, and Patton was saved. Because I am the DM trying to control 3 different things at once, I'm giving myself leeway for these decisions. Especially since I just got this all put together like 3 hours ago. So we're doing that. All right. But Logan is still over here. Logan is not too keen that his brother is being attacked. And so, against his better judgment, he's going to attack the dragon. Which, surprisingly enough, he can actually shoot the dragon from here. He does not actually have to move. Uh, I hate that I have such little space. Like, this thing kind of just gets in my way sometimes. Go in this corner, I guess. So, Logan, I wish I knew how to do the thing. Logan's gonna keep moving towards these pillars. He's gonna leave that one for Virgil, to get, since it's the next closest to him. He's gonna leave that one for Virgil. And then he's going to attack the dragon against his better judgment, because the dragon is currently after Patton. Pacha! What is the dragon's armor class? I mean, that hits, but I just want to know. Okay. So he fires another arrow, but this arrow is a little bit special. I'm not gonna click that whole thing. Wait. When you use this option, you don't make a melee attack. Instead, you choose one. No. I'll save it since I already rolled. 4 damage against the dragon as an arrow lands in it. So that's 29. As he screams out, "Get away from my brother, you giant lizard!" And that is going to be Logan's turn. Patton is now in melee range of this dragon that just tried to eat him. Yeah, that takes a minute, so that's not gonna be very helpful, and I don't think that's gonna be very helpful either. So Patton's in melee. Oh, that's what sharpshooter does. Okay. He is going to try to leave the melee space, which means the dragon gets an opportunity attack on him. So he's going to take another bite at Patton, and he's going to fail miserably. Patson's gonna get all the way over here, and he's going to fire his crossbow. I don't really. I kind of. Which one of you is Patson? There we go. How's a murder bee taste? All right, yeah. We're gonna say that this one has now been destroyed. Virgil, you are now on the ground. Uh, a little description. The dragon, Patton tries to goes to fly past the dragon. The dragon reaches out with his giant freaking head to bite onto Patton, but Patton was just too fast for him and he misses. Patton flies over. He is flying, so how I don't know, he's like 15 feet in the air, I guess. He doesn't need to be that close in the up in the air. So he's up in the air, shot at the crystal, it exploded. I'm assuming that you're probably heading towards the next one, which is 20 feet, or I guess maybe that might be 30. So you got 30 feet over there. You can dash again to climb up the tower if you want. And then wait, and then your next turn you'll punch the thing again. I'm going to assume that that's probably what you're doing because that's honestly the only thing you can't do in this currently. You're climbing 10? Okay. Uh are you are you stating that you're only climbing? Yeah, okay. So you're going to dash. All right. So you get up to the top, but that's about it. The dragon. Regrets not training in long range weapons. Yeah. Okay. First I actually for the dragon. Oh my goodness. There we go. For the dragon, I need to roll a d6. Oh, guess who got their breath weapon back? Hold on, I am trying to follow movement rules. He's 50 feet away, but he actually only needs to be 15 feet away from Logan. So, is that? That's still 40 feet. What's his walking speed? I guess he could fly. Yeah, he's got a 30. Okay, so he's gonna fly into the air. I'm gonna say he's like 10 feet in the air. How far away does he need to be? Like there? Okay. He's gonna get there. He's 10 feet. Wait. What's 12? What does the 12 represent? His AC. His AC is 12? I thought it was higher than that. No, it should be there we go. Alright, so he's 10 feet in the air. 15 feet away. He's gonna do his fire breath, so Logan needs to dodge again. God. Alright, he's gonna make that save. So he only takes half damage. Oh god. I think the dragon just I think his attack does too much damage. I'm seeing a problem with this. His damage output is too strong. So I'm going to cut it down to 2d10 instead, because otherwise he's just gonna kill everyone. So I'm gonna re-roll that. 15. I mean, I guess that's a little bit better. It's not great for Logan, but oh wait, no, Logan takes half damage. Hold on, hold on. What was he at? He was at 11. Logan takes half damage of 15, which is 7. So 11 minus 7 is 4. So he's in pretty bad shape, but he's not down yet. Just a little big ow. Logan manages to roll out of the range, but still gets nicked because that's just how these things work. So he still takes damage, but he didn't take the full force of the damage. But he's very much not enjoying being on fire. Speaking of Logan, it's now his turn. Ow! Luckily for Logan, he has potions of healing. Do I? He does have potions of healing on him. Right? Yeah, he's got a potion of healing on him. I need to check what how much healing that does. Boop. Healing is 4d4 plus 4. Okay. So I need to go over here. Go back to the Sipilor. I need 4d4. Oh wow. 4d4 plus 4, so that's 18. 18 plus 4 is 22. Let me just make sure. What's his maximum? Okay, his maximum is 25, so yeah, he gets the full 22. Logan spends his action to use a potion, and then he's going to... We do need to get rid of these crystals. Oh yeah, the crystals all heal the dragon, so the dragon is actually back to full health. That was supposed to happen on his turn. I forgot about it. The reason why we're destroying these is so that the dragon would stop healing, and I forgot to heal the dragon. Logan is going to action surge to have another action so he can shoot one of the freaking crystals. He shot a crystal and the crystal died. He can still move. My goodness, you're in my way. Logan moves all the way over there. And that's his turn. Patton! I guess he's just gonna shoot he's gonna keep shooting those crystals. Patton's getting amazing rolls. Crystal has been shot. Virgil, it is your turn. You have a crystal on top of you. If you're going to punch the crystal, I'm going to need a dex save and a strength save. Punch it! Okay. Alright, Virgil. You take another 7 points of damage, but you did manage to stay on top of the pillar again. You can now. Oh god, not again. Everything's dying. No. Alright, you're gonna go down? Okay, there we go. It's back. Okay. You have successfully put yourself back onto the ground. The dragon is gonna take you on your offer. But first. Nope, no breath weapon. So it looks like the dragon is just going to fly down and bite at you. And he's gonna miss. You're just too fast for him. He tries to crunch on you and it didn't work. Logan screams out for you to be careful. And then he shoots another crystal. Crystal, goodbye. Another crystal, goodbye. Oh, this crystal is also goodbye. Because you punched it. Good night, I hope you got it finished. Alright, 1-2, good night. You can watch it later. Where phase 2 is actually just about to start. Space is your turn, by the way. You now have a dragon in front of you. If you try to run away from the dragon will get an opportunity to attack on you. Eat this. He swings his scimitar. Alright, you're gonna attack. That just hits. Roll your damage. You can click on the button, the scimitar button, and it'll roll your damage for you. Just click on the button. Yeah, you did 7 damage to it. That was your action. You can still attempt to move away from the dragon if you so wish. Man, I wish I had some, like, fight music. How do I add music? I don't know. Battle? Sure. I don't know if you guys can hear this. Oh, yeah, no, that is playing. Just so there's less silence. Oh, you did attempt to move away from the dragon. The dragon gets an opportunity attack on you. Let's see if it hits. That does not hit. You managed to avoid the bites of the dragon as you scurried off that way. It is now the dragon's turn. And the dragon... Nope. The dragon heals for 18 from the last... the last one that is still there. And the dragon... Oh, I still need to roll a d6. Does not get its breath weapon back. So I guess it's just gonna chase over you and keep trying to bite you. Because that worked so well last time. Actually, it does work this time. You take 15 points of damage. Oh, are you unconscious? Virgil's out. With one single bite from the dragon. Blood spouts out of Virgil, and he falls unconscious. Patton and Logan scream out Virgil's name in anguish and panic. It's now Logan's turn. Alright, what's Logan gonna do about this situation? And I already used my second wind. Doesn't look like I have a speed potion. How far away is Logan? I can get there. So Logan can get there in time. resistance. That actually probably should have used that. Harming, poison, slowness, strength, weakness. What did they use again? Slowness cuts speed in half, disadvantage on dex saves. Weakness, disadvantage on strength checks and throws. Harming has 3d6 necrotic. What is a little rabbit supposed to do? It's a toughie, that's for sure. Okay. What is Logan gonna do in this situation? He needs to get Virgil up, so he does need to get over there. Okay. Logan dashes all the way over to Virgil's side. Red eyes glaring at the dragon as he takes one of his potions of healing. He takes one of his potions of healing and downs it down Virgil's throat. What? My God! That is literally the worst. I couldn't roll worse if I could try. Alright. Virgil, you do heal for 8 though. You do get 8 HP back. Because it is 4d4 plus 4 healing. So you do get 8 you get 8 You heard me the first time. Your eyes, you open your eyes with Logan over your body, glaring at the Ender Dragon. Patton! Sir, I need you to not be in my way. Okay, so Patton can get about that far. And he can probably still shoot. Patton's gonna take out the last... Yep. Last crystal is gone. There's no more crystals. And that's as much as he can do. Virgil, it is now your turn. You are prone. It'll take half of your speed movement to get back up. And Logan is also with you now. All the crystals has been destroyed. It's now time to just punch the dragon until it dies. And hopefully not kill you in the process. Okay, that is a bonus action, I believe. But go ahead. I feel like this isn't the right music to play, but it's close enough and it gives me something. Okay, so I believe it is D10 plus your fighter levels. So I believe you just healed for 6. Because we're level 3 characters. You're still okay. I'm assuming you're not attacked while you're still on the ground, so you've used half of your movement to stand up and then attack. Sadly though, that does miss. So your blade just kind of glides off of the dragon's scales. You can still try to move away, but if you do, the dragon will have an opportunity to attack against you. Staying put. Okay. Alright. It's now the dragon's turn. The dragon did not give its breath weapon back, so it's just going to attack. Okay. I don't know. Oh! That is... Wait. No. Okay. Never mind. That was... Okay. Alright, Logan will be evens. Okay, it's going to attack, try to bite into Logan. And it's gonna fail. Logan is now in melee. I mean, he does have his rapier, so... he actually still does have these potions though, so... You know what? He's gonna chuck a harming potion at him. What type of roll would that be? He is throwing something. I'm gonna say that's a range attack. I'm going to roll a dex. Ugh. So that's 9 plus 2 is 11. That's not gonna hit. Logan throws a potion of harming. But he missed and it splatters on the ground. He doesn't want to be too far away from Virgil, but I don't know, he's still a long-range person. Yeah, Logan's gonna try to leave. So the dragon gets an opportunity attack on him. which misses. So Logan is able to try to get out of dodge. Get about that far. Actually, he can make it farther. I think he can make it about that far. Patton! How far is his range on this crossbow? Okay, 100. Okay, 400 feet. Oh, how many arrows has Logan shot? I'm just gonna say he shot 2 more. Okay. Patton is just gonna shoot at the dragon because he doesn't have a lot much. He's gonna miss though. The arrow bounces off of his arm, off of the dragon's scales. Ugh. There's not a lot much he can do. Patton gets a lot more interesting when he becomes a cleric. Right now, Patton can't do a lot. Virgil, it is now your turn. That's gonna miss. Staying put. Alright. The dragon! Does not get his breath weapon back. So he's just gonna bite at you. That's gonna hit. That's gonna be 14. Oh, god damn it! Virgil's down again. Logan realistically is probably the one that can get back over there. My goodness. Okay. So a little bit of a playback. Logan runs back over again. Let's try this again, huh? Okay. 13. And that's all Logan can do. Patton! Patton can just shoot the dragon. Actually... Oh, I have to touch. Okay. Oh, I do have spike growth. What does that do? I don't think that's gonna be much. Okay, Patton's just gonna shoot at the dragon. Yo! It's a critical! And I think, just for the fun of it, Patton has his ability Sharpshooter, where I can take a -5 penalty to an attack roll to get a +10. You're supposed to announce that before you roll, I'm the DM, and I think it'd be funny, so I'm going to allow it. We got 23 damage. Because that's 13 plus 10 from sharpshooter. Because Patton is pissed. So 33 minus 23 is 10. Patton gets a gnarly shot at the dragon. The arrow going right into the dragon's neck. It's flaying its head around. It's in so much pain. No one hurts my hive, is what Patton says. Virgil, it is now your turn again. This dragon is kicking your ass. What are you gonna do about it? Yeah! 7 more damage! I believe you have a action surge as well, which allows you to take another action if you want to use it and try to kill steal the dragon. Hit the dragon again! Hit the dragon again! Oh no! So the dragon grabs onto your sword and tears it out of your hands. Tears it out of your hands. He got his breath weapon back. This boy flies 15 feet into the air, which does actually put it out of melee range. So you and Logan both get an opportunity to attack on it. Logan's gonna have to use a scimitar because he's in melee. That misses. Virgil, you are disarmed. So I'll say... Oh. You are... Well, you missed anyway, so I'm not gonna worry too much about it. Alright, the dragon went up into the air. It's time for dex saves! What's the D? Oh, 2 16s. What was the DC again? 13. Okay. So we're only taking half damage. And what's the damage to this again? 2d10. Alright, we each take 5 damage. It's now Logan's turn. And he's just... the dragon is now 15 feet in the air, so he is going to bring out his longbow again. And with one final blow, the dragon has been defeated! With the final blow. I'm impressed. We're gonna stop the music since the battle's now over. We killed the dragon with one final arrow from Logan's bow shot right after the breath of the dragon's uh fire breath. The arrow goes into its mouth and right into its brain, and it just collapses onto the ground and poofs it out of nowhere. Because I can't remember the dragon is a live creature or a magical creature. But it's dead, and that's the important part. Yay! Woo! I I was a little worried. I was a little concerned about the idea if the battle would be too hard. I think doing 4d10 damage was probably would have killed all of us. So I think I made the right choice to switch it to 2d10 instead. But besides that, it was just a matter of like surviving, getting through all of the getting through all of the end crystals, right? Once the end crystals were gone, I could probably also maybe have given the dragon more HP. Might have, but that would just have delayed the inevitable. Uh, I think that crit, getting that crit definitely helped though because that took out a big chunk of its health. But yeah, so I I was actually really prepared to having a TPK. Like I thought I was gonna have to run this a few times to see if it was possible. Apparently, I made it very possible. So go me! Yay! We did it! We're victorious! We're the best around! Nothing's ever gonna get us down! A little self-indulgent. Yeah, definitely worth a crab rave after that. And Virgil only died twice! I had one more healing potion just in case. After Virgil got knocked on his ass twice. Yeah. And then he got his sword taken away from him. Virgil is definitely not our strongest fighter. I thought about giving Virgil a different class, but he does there was just nothing else I could give him other than fighter because I was like he doesn't dabble in magic. He doesn't dabble with nature. He's not angry enough to be a barbarian. He doesn't fight like a monk. So I was just like the only option I have for him is a fighter. Nothing else really fits him. Ugh. But but yeah. Oh my goodness. That that was fun. I think it would have been I think other fights would be I wonder if it would like be more fun if I wasn't having to control everything because I can't keep track of like who has what ability when I'm controlling 7 characters. Not even I was only controlling 2 characters. Also, we were only level 2, so a lot of Patson's abilities were things that are just happen in the background, like he has magical shit on his stuff. Other than that, all he has really for fighting is just throwing arrows. He doesn't get cool attacking abilities until he becomes a cleric. Uh, I like Logan's thing. I think I should have picked a different. I didn't even get to. I think I only did it once. Did I use an arcane? No, I didn't. I have arcane arrows. I didn't use them because they weren't exactly that helpful in this situation. Um, they're they're more useful for if there was multiple targets, and I think that was a fault to myself. I should have had it picked for a single target. Uh, but I definitely enjoyed having you here also to at least take Virgil off of my hands. I that definitely made it help. Yeah. I don't know. I just think it's so interesting. I I have also been thinking about cuz I was trying to think about like now that like it's been a long time, like what I could do to change the characters, and I actually came up with their own. So the characters that cast magic, instead of giving them the instead of giving them the traditional spell list based off class, I gave them a spell list based off what aesthetic. So like Patton only does things with plants. And a lot of plant-based spells are locked under druid. So I so instead of giving him like the artificer spell list, I made my own list of spells that I thought Patton would be more acceptable to using. Um but he also doesn't get a lot of access to those spells until he becomes a cleric, so it didn't really help in this situation, but I did make that list. Uh, I made a list for Logan again. Logan had a very divine list for his spells, things like detect thoughts and detect magic and identify, like gathering information spells. Um, Back when I was trying to make him like a wizard, but my only problem with the wizard though was that it's really hard to make a wizard a melee fighter or a range fighter. Like, okay, if Logan was a melee fighter, I could have done um Blade Song and it would have been great. It would have been absolutely perfect. The problem is that Logan is a archer and Blade Song doesn't work with ranged weapons. So I was like, I can't make him that, and nothing else really felt like Logan. And so I had to remind myself that like when it comes to Logan and magic, what is he doing? And what he does is that he's an enchanter. The man enchants shit, right? So then I was thinking about doing the ruin knight because ruin knights kind of enchant their stuff. I also thought about the idea of making him also an artificer, but I felt really bad trying to have two artificers. Even if they were different subclasses, it just didn't feel right to me to have two of the same class. Um, which is ironic because we're a bunch to have a bunch of clerics. um, but they're all unique clerics, at least more unique clerics than just having two artificers. Especially because Remus is also an artificer. He's an alchemist. So I didn't want to have three artificers. As much as I love the artificer class, I didn't want to have three of them. Um, so and I couldn't think of another class to give Patton because Patton is the inventor and the artificer is the inventor class. So I decided for Logan, since I couldn't figure out how to get his magic shit to work, that I would just focus on the fact that he is an archer. That's how he fights, that's how he survives. And I don't know. I guess there's like feats that I could give him that would allow him to cast magic. Um I know there's a couple of feats that allow you to have a couple of spells. And then it's just a matter of deciding like what spells he would learn from that feat because I think I think one would probably try to see if I can get him to learn see invisibility because that is the ability that Logan has in the story. So Uh, but it Logan is a toughie. It's very hard to try. I think what I have to do is that I do have to multi-class him. It's just I get so stuck on trying to multi-class because I can never decide on which class I want to put more focus on. For Patton, I think it's pretty easy. Once he becomes a cleric, I think that's where his main focus goes. Not to say that he becomes a complete cleric and forgets all of his artificer stuff, but I think like the rest of his levels he then spends on increasing his cleric abilities. That seems easy. Logan is such a fine line that I can't decide where he aligns to more. If he's more of a fighter or if he's more of a spellcaster. And it doesn't help that Logan himself can't cast a lot of spells. He's not like Patton who can control plants, and he's not like Caleb who can manipulate emotions and things. He kind of just has to work with in the confines of what he's allowed to do in this Minecraft world, which is he can do enchantments. And even then, the enchantment spells in D&D don't correlate as well either. So Logan is very much a character that I kind of scratch my head out about how to adapt him into the D&D world. Um, I just know that in the other D&D series, uh, he's an artificer there, and Patton is a paladin there, so that makes sense in my head. I did think a lot about more. We can go back over here. Uh, uh, I was, I did think a little bit more about um. So so Roman and Remus, right? I was thinking about them. I haven't made their sheet officially because they haven't shown up in D&D land for me to do, but I did think about their sheet about exactly what they would be. Because here's the thing. Roman and Remus are descendants of an actual god, which makes me feel like they would be a little bit of an Asimar. But it's also established in the canon that Roman and Remus are not demigods, that they were born before that their ancestor, that Nebula, became a god after she had children. So her children were complete mortals before she ascended to godhood. So that would mean that they wouldn't be demigods. But with that also being said, it is also established that Nebula does bless her family with magical abilities to protect them against the Withers. So that made me think, oh, what class establishes that you get magical abilities from birth, from your blood? Sorcerers! Remus and Roman are sorcerers. They are celestial sorcerers, but also they are multi-class because they also don't spew out a bunch of spells. So so Roman is so they have one level in sorcerer, and then the rest of their levels are in their classes that they actually establish. I put Roman as a bard. Um, he's kind of a little dancey, artsy bard. And I put Remus. Now Remus, oh god, Remus. Uh, that's gonna be fun. Now that I've just thought about it, because Remus, in his early childhood, was a little bit of a rogue. And then when he gets with the group, he learns alchemy, which makes me want to have him multi-class to an artificer alchemist, which meant which then means that Remus has three classes, which would suck because that's just a lot to manage. Also, he just wouldn't be able to get anywhere. To get to For him to officially become a alchemist, he has to have 3 levels in artificer. And if he already has levels in other classes, it takes a long time to get there. So unless what I did was that I dropped his rogue class to and then took those levels and put it into artificer, but then he loses all of his rogue abilities, and that doesn't make sense in my head. It doesn't make sense in my head for him to then forget how to do the things he used to know how to do. Um, Surprisingly enough, that actually happens to Virgil in the in Whispers of Rotade, but there's a canon reason why his class gets like switched over like that. So it makes sense there. It doesn't make sense in my head for Remus though, because because he's just learning new things. I guess he doesn't need to become an alchemist. He could just be a proficient in the tool set. He can just be proficient in the tool set. He doesn't need to go all the way over there. Yeah. I think I think I can make that work. I think I can be satisfied that with him just being a sorcerer rogue and Roman is a sorcerer bard and then Patton is a artificer cleric. So like I now I don't know why I'm so against Logan being multi-class when literally I just named three characters that are all multi-class. Honestly, the only character that really doesn't multi-class is Nemo and Virgil. They don't. I can't really see them being multi-class into anything else because Caleb. Um, what did I put Caleb as? I think Caleb was a ranger, so he becomes like a ranger cleric. Cassius starts off as a fighter. He starts off as a fighter and then he becomes a cleric when he becomes a champion. Yeah. Well, okay, but you have to also remember that Caleb isn't a bard the entire time. When we first meet him, he's not a bard. So, I put him as a ranger because of his hunting background. I imagine that he would probably be a ranger. Same thing with Nemo. Nemo's also a ranger. Um, he could have also been a fighter. I can't remember. um, I I definitely think that out of the two of them, Nemo was more the ranger because rangers do a lot more tracking in their profession. So I definitely see Nemo more as a ranger than Caleb is. So if Caleb is a fighter, then that works as well. Um but he becomes a fighter cleric and Cassius also becomes a fighter cleric. And then Patton is a artificer cleric. Roman and Remus are sorcerer, bard, uh, rogues. Virgil and Nemo stay as ranger and fighter, and so I guess I can still try to figure out how to the problem with multi-classing Logan is because for the rest of them, I can see them just like uh you're meta writing who? God, duh. You're gonna make the D&D version of the story canon in the story. I don't know how exactly you're going to do that, but knowing you, you're gonna find a way. Um, I know you're gonna find a way. The problem with Logan was that I can never decide on which aspect I want him to which aspect I want him to focus on. Because again, Patton, once he becomes a cleric, he's gonna put all of his focus onto that. So I can imagine that any level ups, he would put it into his cleric. Same thing with Cassius. I imagine that he's gonna focus on his blood warrior training. Same thing with Caleb. He's gonna focus on his bard training. Logan is the only one that I can't figure out what he would be focusing on. If he would be focusing on learning more magic, if he would be focusing on learning how to fight better. Because wizards, especially, do not make for great fighters. And I'm also trying to be like, Logan isn't just going to be able to cast Fireball, because that's not a thing he can do in canon. So it's really infuriating. I don't know what to do with him. I can't wrap my brain around how to make him work. I guess I guess if I really wanted to, because it's just so hard because Logan's magical ability in the series is very limited. He can't do a lot with magic. He wants to. He very much really really wants to. He would love to be able to do magic, but he can't. The best he can do is that he enchants things and he makes potions. That's his skill set. That's what he knows how to do. Also he can locate shit, but that's items. Like he makes magical items, which then brings me back to Artificer. I think maybe I should stop trying to avoid making Logan an Artificer. Maybe he should just become an Artificer. We'll have two Artificers. Because what sucks is that I have two really smart boys. Patton and Logan are very two intelligent boys. And and I'm trying to make it so they're not the same character, right? Like Patton works on build is like into building shit. And then there's Logan who makes magical shit. So I guess together they make magical shit. uh a part of me thought about the idea of making Patton a druid with all of his nature shit, but Patton can't turn into animals. And that's the whole thing about druids is that they can turn into animals. That's like their whole thing. That's like the cool thing about druids. And I was just like that Patton doesn't deal because that's the other thing. Druids deal with nature and animals. Patton doesn't do jack shit with animals. he's all about he's all about the plants. And him becoming a cleric is all he needs for is plants. He can be a he could be a nature cleric and that gives him all of his shit. So he doesn't need to be a druid. If I tried to take Artificer away from Patton, what else would I give him? Because he needs something before he's a cleric. And the boring answer is fighter, but that's boring. And I don't know, I like him being an artificer. Like it makes sense in my head for why Patton is an artificer. He's an inventor. He built shit, and thus he's an artificer. That's their thing. I don't know. I think I just need to get over myself about the idea of having two artificers. Especially like if Remus is sticking as a rogue and just getting a tool proficiency instead, then I don't know. I think it might be fine. I'll have to look into it later and see if I can if if that somehow helps try to balance out Logan because I can't not make him some type of range fighter is my thing. I can't not do that because that's too much of Logan's fighting style. And when it comes to magic, I can't just give him a bunch of magical shit that he can't do in canon because that doesn't make sense. And so his spell list is literally kind of like limited to things to like divine div, d- dive di- the gathering information. But I also have to be careful that like Logan can't read minds. That's not something he can do. So it, if he had spells, the best spells that he would have is that he would have detect magic and identify. Um, actually, I can pull up the list. Uh, yeah, comprehended languages, detecting evil and good, detect magic, detect poison and disease, hunter's mark, which is a ranger only spell. But I like it. Identify, uh, finding traps, locating animal and plants, locating objects, see invisibility, counterspell, dispel magic. Actually, I don't think he would have those. They're cool spells to have, but I don't think he would have those. And I don't remember what tongues does. Some of these spells I wrote down, but I actually don't know what they do. But once we get to third level and above, um, that's one of the hard things whenever I make a spellcaster that has a theme, is that that theme doesn't always transfer for larger level spells. Um, it's a little bit harder. Patton gets a lot because Patton has a lot of different focuses. He can focus on nature, he can focus on healing. I think those are the two things. Oh yeah. I wrote that Patton is a spellcaster that focuses on building and tinkering, but also is attuned to nature and healing magic. And Logan is a man of knowledge, so a lot of his magic is based on learning more information. But yeah. Also, just wait, no, I closed it. Dang. Never mind. Oh, too far. Uh I closed that tab. It doesn't exist anymore. I love I love Mango's Logan so much. He is such a dork. He's such a dork, and he does the stupidest shit, but it's so goddamn funny. I'm I look at him and I'm just like, why can't I write Logan that cool? Why can't I write Logan that cool? That Logan is like, I'm like, I'm trying to write that Logan and it doesn't work for me. I don't do it right. But Mango manages to be able to do it right. Because he has that perfect balance of like, I'm so curious that throw caution out of the wind to do something. But also, of course I thought about all the things and make sure that that whatever I'm doing would succeed. So thus there was no reason to worry. And so I didn't tell you that I was going to do it. Logan, I love you, but what were you thinking? Ah. Oh my gosh. I am so excited to be able to be a part of that series by screaming in Logan's ear. It's gonna be so fun. Uh, I think I think this is gonna be I think this is gonna be a shorter stream, mostly because one, I did start it really late at night, and two, that was basically everything I wanted to do. I wanted to talk about my obsession, and the reason why I didn't stream last Thursday was because I was binge reading all of that. Um, I talked about the first time that I drived by myself, which you can space you can catch in the VOD, and I did the encounter I wanted to do. I thought about doing other encounters, like I thought that doing the powers fight would be really cool. Um, the powers fight or the Wither King fight, even though the Wither King, like the first Wither King fight, would just be between Logan and Patton, so that would just be kind of a me rolling rolls to see who won. Um, but I thought doing the power fight might be cool, but I didn't have Cassius's character sheet ready. Um, blood for the blood god. Cassius wasn't even a blood god at that point. I don't know. I feel like I would have to make him very strong because I also have to remember that he fought Patton, Logan, Caleb, and Cassius. Like Powers fought four people, and when you transfer that into D&D, four people punching one guy, he has to be really tough, or otherwise you just kind of obliterate him. You don't care, blood for the blood god. I did actually make his stat block. His stat block does exist. Let me look at him. Where is he? Personal bosses. Captain Powers. Oh yeah, no, he has a lot of HP. Uh, um, okay. Yeah, he's a challenge rating 9, so I think he might still be a challenge. Of course of course he's more powerful than the Ender Dragon because just their level cap at the time. I imagine that when um by the time that the characters got to powers, I was thinking about making them level 5 at that point, so the characters themselves would also be stronger, and thus the enemies that they fight also have to be stronger to be able to balance that out. So yes, powers would be more powerful than the dragon. This man has 143 HP. Uh, he has multi attack, so he can make 3 attacks in one turn, and each attack does 2d6 damage. So for a total of like 66 damage. So yeah, eats Cassie's and deal with that. Yeah. Yeah, there are some so when I made the stat blocks, I did reference actual D&D creatures and kind of just um reflavored them. So I imagine that I got that multi attack from some other monster from the monster manual. So I didn't like just make it harder on purpose. Like I tried to compare them to other like high level um creatures to fight. If I even have stat blocks for like the gods. I have one for Queen Nebula, the Wither King. I thought I made one for Technoblade, but apparently not. So it looks like I have an incomplete Queen Nebula stat block, and I have a stat block for the Wither King. Uh, they are they're extremely powerful because they're gods, and thus they are extremely hard to kill. I don't even know if they're like balance or make sense, but they exist. I think if we had ran it like D&D, I imagine that they would get a saving throw against the coin. Um but for the sake that you really really wanted to murder Wilbur, I didn't make him save and he just died. Mostly because how I imagine is that once the coin is on him, he would just like all of his energy would stop and he would just collapse. So it kind of just made sense. But I think in a game setting, I would have given him a save. He could have still failed to save, but um, and then if he made the save, then I'd probably be like, oh, I don't know, he like tossed it off before or something. Yeah, only murder, double murder. Now, luckily for me, space is that I don't work tomorrow, and I'm not exactly tired. I just don't know what else to do. So if we want to jump back onto the story and finish it, we still have the actual final battle to do. I just didn't work on it because I was trying to set this up. Alright, Space is yelling at me to murder, so we're gonna go ahead and call it here. Everyone I already know is asleep, so there's not really anyone to raid, so we're just gonna call it out here. Thank you for listening to me ramble about my new obsession for 3 hours. Honestly, I thought it would go longer, but I tried really, really hard to not actually spoil Whispers of Road Today. Tried really hard to not actually spoil any of the important plot bits in case anyone wanted to jump down that rabbit hole. I should probably post that in the Discord. I'll do that later. Also, that is also why I haven't been uploading any more chapters of Creative Block was because my brain has now switched over to that, and thus I don't know if it ever be finished. It depends on whenever I get to it, and honestly, maybe if I wait long enough, I'll actually come up with something better. Who knows? But I think I should go before space burns down my house. Bye. Have a good night, everyone.